Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel, Canada Immigration. We hope you're doing great. In this video, we're going to talk about new immigration policies could impact millions of immigrants in Canada by 2025. As Canada continues to evolve its immigration system, new rules set to take effect in 2025 may significantly alter the landscape for millions of immigrants. With shifting policies aimed at controlling the flow of newcomers, these changes could have far-reaching consequences for both individuals and the country's economy. This video explores the potential impacts of these new immigration laws and the challenges they may present. If you are interested in this topic, please pay attention and watch the video through to the end to get all the information. Please hit like and subscribe, and don't forget to push the notification bell for an upcoming video. So, without any further delay, let's jump into the video. Imagine being told that you may have to leave the country you've called home for years, the country where you've built your career, gone to school, or started a family. Sounds harsh, right? But that's the reality many individuals currently residing in Canada could be facing by 2025. Millions of temporary foreign workers, international students, and their families are being directly impacted by Canada's massive overhaul of its immigration system. With over 5 million people holding temporary permits set to expire in the next few years, navigating these changes will be crucial for those who want to continue living, working, and studying in Canada. In this video, we will explore the new immigration changes, their reasons, and the significant consequences these shifts will have on millions. We will break down how the reduction in immigration targets, the stricter rules for temporary work permits, and the limitations on international students will affect people, businesses, and even the Canadian economy. Additionally, we will provide insight into how you can prepare for these changes, whether you're an immigrant already in Canada or planning to make Canada your new home. Why are these changes happening? Canada has long been one of the top destinations for immigrants seeking better opportunities. From skilled workers to international students, the country's welcoming stance has contributed significantly to its economic prosperity. However, as more people have come to Canada over the years, the country has begun facing mounting pressures on its infrastructure, housing, healthcare, and social services. The rapid pace of immigration, while driving economic growth, has strained Canada's key systems, including the housing crisis. The demand for affordable housing in major cities like Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal has soared. A steady influx of newcomers has exacerbated the problem, contributing to skyrocketing property prices and higher rents. Despite the government's efforts to address this crisis, the reality is that Canada simply doesn't have enough housing to meet the needs of its growing population. Healthcare strain. Canada's healthcare system, while well regarded, is under stress. Long wait times, overburdened hospitals, and a shortage of healthcare professionals have all been exacerbated by the increasing number of immigrants relying on the system. This has led the government to reassess its immigration policies, especially concerning temporary workers and international students. Infrastructure overload. Canada's infrastructure, including roads, public transportation, and social services, is also feeling the strain. The pace at which the population is growing is putting immense pressure on these systems, and with limited resources, the government has been forced to consider measures to slow this growth down. Ultimately, the goal behind these changes is to strike a balance between economic prosperity and the country's ability to manage its systems effectively. While it may seem that these new rules target immigrants, the government's primary concern is ensuring that the country can continue to thrive without overwhelming its infrastructure. The impact on temporary work permits. One of the most significant changes will affect those on temporary work permits. For many foreign workers, these permits have been a pathway to building a life in Canada. However, with the government aiming to reduce the number of temporary foreign workers by 40%, it is expected that nearly 5 million temporary permits will expire by 2025. For many foreign workers, this could mean the end of their time in Canada unless they can transition to permanent residency. But this shift is not without its challenges. The competition for permanent residency spots will intensify, as fewer spots are available due to reductions in immigration targets. The difficulty in renewing temporary work permits means that many workers, especially those in specialized fields such as technology, engineering, and healthcare, may find themselves stuck in limbo. Additionally, companies that rely on foreign labor will likely face disruptions as these workers are unable to stay in Canada. For those who are unable to secure permanent residency, the possibility of having to return to their home country after years of contributing to Canada's economy and society could be a harsh reality. For businesses, especially in sectors that rely heavily on skilled labor, the new immigration policies could create staff shortages, forcing them to reevaluate their workforce strategies. What does this mean for international students? International students have long been a cornerstone of Canada's educational landscape, bringing not only revenue to universities and colleges but also contributing to the labor force in key industries. However, with over 760,000 study permits set to expire by 2025, international students are facing an uncertain future. While many students enter Canada with hopes of securing permanent residency after graduation, the new rules make this path much more complicated. The reduction in the number of work permits and stricter rules around post-graduation work permits will make it more difficult for international students to stay and work in Canada after completing their studies. Those already in Canada may struggle to renew their permits, while new applicants face a more competitive environment. Universities that rely heavily on international students for both their academic and financial contributions may also experience disruptions. Furthermore, industries that depend on international students in the workforce such as technology, healthcare, and engineering could face staffing shortages. For international students currently in Canada or planning to study there in the near future, it's crucial to stay updated on the latest immigration rules and understand the shifting landscape. Canada's new immigration target. The Canadian government's new immigration policy sets a significant change in its permanent residency targets, which have been drastically reduced by 21%. The target for permanent residents will drop from 500,000 to 395,000 by 2025. Why is this happening? As mentioned earlier, Canada's infrastructure and public services have reached a breaking point. The government has made it clear that reducing immigration numbers is a necessary step to address issues such as housing shortages, healthcare limitations, and infrastructure problems. For individuals seeking permanent residency in Canada, the process is about to get much more competitive. The reduction in immigration targets means fewer opportunities for those waiting to become permanent residents, and the competition for those coveted spots will intensify. This is especially true for those in the skilled worker categories, where many individuals are competing for a limited number of spaces. In addition to permanent residents, the number of temporary foreign workers and international students allowed to enter Canada will also be cut back. This shift will undoubtedly create uncertainty for those relying on these pathways for a future in Canada. The Indian community's unique struggles. One of the communities that will be most affected by these immigration changes is the Indian community. With over 1.6 million Indians currently living in Canada, many of whom are employed in high-demand sectors such as IT, healthcare, and engineering, the new policies will create significant challenges. For Indian workers on temporary work permits, the reduction in available work permits will make it more difficult to extend or renew their visas. Workers who were hoping to transition to permanent residency may find themselves facing additional delays or complications. International students from India will also be hit hard by the changes. With the reduction in the number of international students allowed into Canada, fewer opportunities will be available for students to stay in the country after graduation. For those already studying in Canada, the tightening of post-graduation work permits means that securing the right to work in Canada after completing their studies will become more competitive. Moreover, many Indians in Canada have relied on temporary work permits to support family members back home. With the new restrictions, the ability to send money home or sponsor family members may become more difficult, adding financial pressure to an already stressful situation. What this means for you, navigating the changes. So, what does all of this mean for you? Whether you're a temporary foreign worker already in Canada or an international student planning to study there, the new rules will significantly impact your future in the country. If you're already on a temporary work permit, you'll need to act fast. With millions of permits set to expire by 2025, you'll need to explore your options to either renew your permit or transition to permanent residency. Securing permanent residency may be your best option, but this process will become more difficult as immigration targets are reduced. For international students, the road ahead is equally uncertain. With fewer opportunities to stay after graduation, the dream of transitioning from student to permanent resident will become more challenging. If you plan to study in Canada, make sure you're prepared for these new obstacles. Regardless of your status, it's important to stay informed and be proactive about your options. The new immigration policies are still evolving, and understanding how these changes affect you will be key to navigating this new reality. Whether you're already in Canada or hoping to make it your new home, adapting to these shifts will require careful planning, persistence, and a clear understanding of your rights and opportunities. Conclusion: Canada's immigration system is undergoing a major transformation that will impact millions of foreign workers, international students, and their families. While the government's goal is to alleviate pressures on housing, healthcare, and infrastructure, the changes will undoubtedly create challenges for those hoping to stay in Canada long term. From reducing temporary work permits to tightening regulations for international students, the future of immigration in Canada is uncertain. If you are one of the millions affected by these changes, it's important to stay informed and prepared. Navigating the shifting landscape of Canada's immigration system will require proactive planning and a clear understanding of your rights and options. The key to securing your future in Canada is to adapt to the new rules and take action before it's too late. While Canada remains a top destination for many seeking a new life, the upcoming immigration reforms present a new set of hurdles for immigrants hoping to settle in the country. Whether these changes will be beneficial in the long term or cause significant disruptions to families and communities remains to be seen. As we move towards 2025, it will be crucial for policymakers to carefully consider the implications and for individuals to stay informed about how these rules may affect their future in Canada. That is all for today, in this video. What are your thoughts on this? Please let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching the entire video. Hopefully, the information is useful to you. See you later, in the next video. Till then, take care.